Welcome back, everyone, to another video on the Glass channel. Today we're going to be doing our monthly track review of one of my songs. Today we're going to be checking out Lost in the Club. Now, Lost in the Club is a kind of a unique track for me in my music career, in where I was trying to experiment more rather than do something that I've normally been doing. And so you can hear on this track it's a little different. I sped up my vocals for the first time, and it's something that I've heard in music that I like to listen to, and I wanted to try it in my own music to see how it would sound, and that's kind of the birth of this track. And one thing about this track that I really like is that, not the track itself, because I think I could have done some things better, but that it kind of led to some of my tracks later on in the year, such as like everything on STM was kind of influenced by this song. Like this kind of birthed STM right after, and then Blackout near the end of the year kind of was influenced by this track, because I never would have sped up my vocals on Blackout if I didn't know how to do it. So that's like the main thing, is just taking risks. I think is a big part of music creation and just anything in life. And this track really showed that, like, the more risks I take, the more interesting music I can make and the more things I can do with music. So yeah, I guess the premise of this track is kind of losing love and trying to cope with losing that love and not really being able to cope with it. So you're just kind of dancing in the club, just because, I don't know, you're kind of like matching the energy of that person that you used to be with. So that's kind of the idea of the track, lyrically and like sentimentally. So now going on to the influences of this track. So I have a couple songs here. First one I want to talk about is Hand Crushed by a Mallet by 100 gecs. The vocal style of this track is very, to me, it sounds like 100 gecs, like the vocals, but the production, not so much. It's not as creative as what gecs did on their record, but I thought that when I made this, I was like, wow, that really sounds like the lead vocalist of 100 gecs, and I really liked that. And their music is like really interesting, really creative, and so that was one of the influences of this track. Another one that's kind of more mainstream, I guess, would be Sugar Crash by Eliado. This song came out probably a couple years ago, but really gave me inspiration to make this type of music, because I thought it was so interesting and like quirky, I guess. And I really liked the way that track sounded. Another track that kind of instrumentally more fits this song is Next to Me by MQX. It's kind of like a gym rave banger, but the synths on this track kind of are influenced by that track, because around this time I was starting like a cut phase in my gym, which is basically just losing as much fat as possible, or just losing as much weight as possible. And for lastly, we have Blissed by Suzy Shear, which is kind of a hyper poppy like dance track that has some interesting like production with the drums, which I kind of wanted to do on this track. I don't know if I completely accomplished that, but it was a big influence on this track. But other than that, that's the influences, that's the story behind this track. Now let's just get into the track and talk about how I made it and the process of that. So yeah. Alright, so here we go. We got the track right here. Sorry if I'm not looking at the camera the whole time, just because my laptop's here, my camera's there. So, but here we go. So basically the whole premise right now is based off this thing called Verispeed here. It's in Logic. It's basically a way to speed up the song, but also while speeding up the song, also speeding up the pitch of vocals. So I'm using that mainly in this track right now. Logic removed it for some reason in the newest version that they downloaded. Just gotta look right there, but they removed in the latest version of this program, so I can't really use it that much. I have to do a workaround for it, but that's basically what I'm using for this song, for STM, for Blackout. So you'll see that in those videos probably. If I make a video on, like, I will do one on SDM, but I don't know if I'll do one on Blackout. We'll see. But that's basically the premise of most of those songs, using Verispeed to speed up the song, but also the pitch of the vocals. So to start, we got this little bass line that I made. Make this a little bigger. So yeah, I wanted something like really, I don't know, like staccato, like attack kind of thing, like attacking at you. The bass is kind of like just going at you, kind of the way I was feeling when I was making this song. It's like I wanted it to be in your face. Just kind of what I think accomplished, but here we go. And then we got another bass to add some texture, which is just matching the notes, but it's adding a little bit of texture to it. Then we got this little arpeggiated synth, and then octaved up. And then we got Z vocals coming in right there, and with some delay on it.
One more time, just for you, you never make it true. All these lights in my room, they never show the truth. One more time.
And then that's just like doubled on top of each other. So now onto the drums here. We got just a basic little industrial set. I really like the way that snare turned out. It's like really poppy, which I like. And then next we have this little, it's kind of like a synth loop that I grabbed from Nexus that just goes, it's basically just a kick pattern, just 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So, and then together those sound like this. And then all together the instrumental is going to sound like this right here.
One more time.
And the one thing I think I'm just noticing now is that the bass, when it goes to that little like 16th part at the start, it kind of makes it sound a little glitchy in combination with the snare, which I really like. Because it sounds like at the end it's kind of like doing like a little fill, even though it's not really a fill, it's just the bass being the bass. So once we get the chorus, we go to this little breakdown part, which kind of sounds like this with this pad.
Think about those days. Think about those days. All these lights.
And then we got this little lead synth here, which is using the same synth as the arpeggiators. And then I wanted a little build up with the kick. We got a little pad at the end, which is, it just kind of like everything in this song I wanted to make complement the bass. So everything's like complementing the bass, which is just holding the song together. I think that's something, oh jeez. All right. Everything in the song I wanted to make complement the bass, and I think everything, the bass is at the bottom of everything, kind of holding it together, while the other stuff is like responding to the bass, I guess. It's kind of like a conversation, and that's kind of what I wanted to do with this song. So that's kind of the instrumental side of it. I guess one thing I want to show you guys, if you guys are curious, is how this song sounds like not sped up. So here's this thing that sound like. So this is what when I had the song in its infant stage, and before Verispeed, even before I even had anything.
All these lights in my room,
It's kind of funny when you slow it down, it kind of gets to like some kind of funk music or like something that's like slow and deliberate versus something that's really fast and upbeat, which I don't know, it's really just a stylistic choice of whatever the artist wants to do. For me, I wanted to speed it up just to hear what it sounds like and get it out, and then leading this song goes into right into SDM, which was influenced by the song so much. I don't think I accomplished everything I wanted to on this song just because of like the short deadline, but as the year goes on, I get to accomplish more in such a short time, and it kind of upped my workflow. And yeah, that's basically Lost in the Club. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be having a different kind of video next week, I think. I have something planned. We'll see if that comes to fruition. If not, we'll figure it out. But it's been Glass, guys. Peace out.